Well, I was half right. As a proud, patriotic Irishman who loves his country and loves his people, I have to say in modern Ireland we don't get wins very often, but we got one yesterday, and I'll take any win where I can get it. Now, regular viewers to the channel will know that I put out a video a couple of weeks ago opining, musing that wouldn't it be marvellous if Donald J. Trump, the American president, was to invite Conor McGregor and Enoch Burke over to the White House on St. Patrick's Day to meet them. Oh, I thought that would be the ultimate troll, and it would be the ultimate two fingers for the establishment that we currently have, running Ireland into the ground. Now, I'm not saying my video had any bearing on matters one way or the other, but at least I got half my wish in that Conor McGregor was indeed invited with his family to the White House on St. Patrick's Day, the 17th of March, which was yesterday, to meet with the man himself, Donald J. Trump. He also met Elon Musk. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, that's a bit of a slap in the face for the regime, the Micheál Martin, Simon Harris, Bill and Ben show that currently are in government. I would say, no, it's not a slap in the face. That's more of a kick in the balls, which, as all you men out there will know, is way worse. Needless to say, the Irish mainstream media are having an absolute meltdown, and I love it. I have to say, when I saw this tweet popping up on Conor McGregor's timeline, my reaction was something like, but the political elites and their mainstream media lackeys reacted a bit more like. So a few days ago, Donald Trump did indeed invite the Taoiseach Micheál Martin to the Oval Office, to the White House, to do the annual paint-by-numbers ceremony of handing over the bowl of Shamrock. It's really a press-op for the Irish-American contingent of voters, many of whom voted for Trump. So he was happy to play that game. And for all the people out there who say, look, the man's uncouth, he's a bull in a china shop, he's all over the place, it was actually a very genteel, a very paint-by-numbers, which is what Micheál Martin specialises in. The man's just he's a bluffer, he's a plumauser, he's a waffler. And the whole thing went off, as the mainstream media would say, went off well, which means it was just beige, dry, boring. For those of you who haven't seen the meeting, I wouldn't bother, because it's boring as hell. It's a paint-by-numbers exercise. It's beige. It's a beige jobby. I'll give you the short version. Here's how it went. Hello, good sir. You're looking very fine today. Why, thank you, good sir, and thank you for noticing. You're looking very fine yourself, too. Why, thank you. How very kind of you. Would you like a bowl of Shamrock? How very thoughtful. Yes, thank you. Everybody say cheese. Cheese. Now, fuck off. You see, that's it. That's the short version of how it went down. Now, that was hailed as a great, marvellous success by the political class here, who thought they'd really played a stormer, a nice, safe meeting. No awkward questions, the thing didn't go off the rails. It wasn't a Zelensky moment. No! And the mainstream media were delighted that they could jump on board with this and do what they do best here in Ireland, which is prop up the regime and say, that's a marvellous day for Ireland. It all went very, very well, very swimmingly. We're all delighted. And haven't we got great statesmen at the helm? But just as they were all fawning over themselves and fawning over the political elites and having a fawn fest in general, then Donald J. Trump does what he does best and drops the hammer and trolls the whole lot of them by inviting Conor McGregor, who he said at that meeting he admired, to the White House with his family on St. Patrick's Day, on the day itself. It was just when I was despairing that we didn't get any good moments out of the whole gig, he goes and pulls a rabbit out of the hat, and that was some rabbit out of some hat. So why was I so happy, so delighted that this whole thing unfolded the way it did? Well, it's because of this. I think that was a pivotal moment, a very, very important moment for Ireland as a nation, Ireland as a people, and our future. Because here we had a working class man who is one of the most famous brands, people in the world, being invited to the White House to speak to the most powerful man in the world. Now, whereas Micheál Martin, the consummate career politician, was there on his visit to put forward this cookie cutter, everything is rosy in the garden view of Ireland, modern Ireland, to Irish America and the Trump administration, essentially papering over all the cracks and trying to reassure our American cousins that everything is fine, there's nothing to worry about, everything is rosy in the Emerald Isle, we're doing absolutely wonderfully. Conor McGregor, on the other hand, is a working class man who has done exceptionally well and is now one of the most famous people on planet Earth. And people here, I feel, don't fully realise just how hugely popular and how hugely famous Conor McGregor is in America. They really don't get it. He's huge over there. And the regime here absolutely fear what he will say, because Conor McGregor, like him or loathe him, and he is a divisive figure, and I've criticised Conor McGregor on this channel before for some of the things that he has done. I'm not saying the man is a saint. I'm not saying the man isn't a bit of a blunt instrument, a rough diamond, but he is a man with massive reach and fame, and he's batting for us. He's on the side of Ireland and the Irish. The man is a dyed-in-the-wool Irish patriot. Well, he was going to give it to them straight. Let's have a look at a little bit of what he said.
Sure, I'm here to raise the issues that people of Ireland face. You know, and it'll be music to the people of Ireland's ears, because never on the main stage has the issues the people of Ireland face been spoke. You know, our government has long since abandoned the voices of the people of Ireland, and it's high time that America is made aware of what is going on in Ireland. What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. You know, our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed, and the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come home and visit. You know, Ireland is at the cusp of, you know, potentially losing its Irishness, and I'm here to raise the issue and highlight it.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie? I am delighted that somebody was able to get onto the biggest stage in the world and announce the reality of what is going on in Ireland today. Of course, the political elites were straight out of the gates to condemn everything the man had to say. He was pulling back the veil that they so carefully curate and hold in place over here in Ireland. But they can't control somebody like Conor McGregor. Micheál Martin, our dear leader, said his comments, quote, do not reflect the spirit of St. Patrick's Day. Meanwhile, his second in command, former Taoiseach, and will be Taoiseach again because they just passed the parcel between themselves, Simon the T-Boy Harris, came out and said this.
Look, it's for President Trump to invite whoever he wants to his home, and he's perfectly entitled to do whatever he wishes in relation to who he decides to invite to the White House. But let me be very clear, Conor McGregor is not here in the United States representing Ireland or the people of Ireland. He's here in a personal capacity. He doesn't speak for Ireland, he doesn't speak for the people of Ireland, he has no mandate to do such, and my views on him are very clear, well established.
So says the man standing on an American street while Conor McGregor is in the Oval Office meeting the President of the US. Maybe calling President Trump a ghoul wasn't the smartest move you've ever made. Eh, Simon? And as for not representing the people of Ireland, well, he is representing the vast majority of the people of Ireland, unlike you, when in every opinion poll, the vast majority, 70-80% plus, are against mass immigration, want it stopped, curtailed and controlled. So he does and is representing those people, and those people include me. And in fact, He's doing the job we pay you to do, and he's doing it free of charge. Because unlike you, it seems the man is a true patriot. We, as a unique people, as the Irish, are being erased in real time. We're being soft genocided. We're being invaded and encouraged by our own leadership. Our own political leaders are fostering it, are encouraging it, are enticing people to come and replace us. And this message is completely curtailed and suffocated here in this country. The mainstream media are in complete lockstep with the government. The government is in the pockets of the EU and global corporations. The whole thing, the political system, the mainstream media is locked down so that we, even though we all notice it, are not allowed to talk about it. And if we do talk about it, they have lots of ways of throttling the message. YouTube, channels like mine, and there are many channels like mine, thankfully, we are routinely throttled and suffocated. So please subscribe if you haven't already. Costs you nothing and it helps the message get out. Make no mistake about it, phone calls are made to Google HQ, which controls YouTube, owns YouTube, and certain channels are deranked, they're suffocated, subscribers are dropped, views are clipped. And that's all done on purpose. But they can't control someone like Conor McGregor because the man is way beyond all of that. He is a world phenomena. He's an international phenomena. They can't stop someone who gets access to the Oval Office. A man who has the ear of the most powerful man in the entire world, Donald J. Trump. So I will take Conor McGregor with his flaws, and we all have flaws. You look at any great statesman that the world has ever known and you will find flaws. You look at Winston Churchill, a man had many flaws. He was a hopeless alcoholic, and apart from anything else. You look at Martin Luther King, again a philanderer, alcoholic. There's all kinds of stuff in Mahatma Gandhi. He had some peccadillos too, and even JFK, who is absolutely adored here in Ireland. Nobody would say a bad word, and I would be a big fan of his. The man was a serial philanderer all through his adult life. But when it comes to Conor McGregor, the knives are out. Everybody wants to play the man, not the ball. Well, I'm saying this message got out and the regime could do nothing about it, and it got out only because Conor McGregor was able to break through the ice. He broke through the wall, the cordon sanitaire, I think that's what they call it in political speak. He was able to break through that. And that takes a special type of man or woman, and it takes a special type of patriotic love for your country. So I'll take it. It's a win. For me, that news getting out to 40 million, the whole of America, but 40 million Irish Americans, who most of whom don't know how bad things are now, and don't know that we are in a fight for our very lives as a distinct people on this planet. That was a resounding win. That was a victory. And I'll take any win I can get for the sake of the future of Ireland and the Irish people.